The Nanny, a beloved sitcom from the 90s, brought laughter to millions with its quirky characters and unforgettable moments. But behind the scenes, the lives of some cast members took tragic turns. In this article, we take a poignant look at the untimely deaths of 25 actors who starred in the show, uncovering the heart-wrenching stories that many fans may not know. Discover the real-life struggles and heartbreaking fates that befell the stars of The Nanny after the cameras stopped rolling. Ray Charles, born on September 23, 1930, in Albany, Georgia, was a musical prodigy whose childhood was marked by both brilliance and tragedy. He lost his sight at age 7 after witnessing the drowning death of his younger brother, a trauma that haunted him throughout his life. Sent to the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, he developed his musical talents despite the challenges. Charles appeared on The Nanny in 1997, playing Sammy, bringing his iconic presence to the show. Beyond this, his career was defined by hit songs like Georgia on My Mind and Hit the Road Jack. In his personal life, Ray was married twice and had 12 children from multiple relationships, a source of stress and strain that often found its way into his music. His life wasn't just a story of success, it was a story of addiction, as he struggled with heroin for many years, which nearly destroyed his career. In 2004, Charles died from liver disease on June 10, at the age of 73, leaving behind an indelible legacy as one of the greatest American musicians, but also a man marked by profound personal loss and hardship. Daryl Hickman, born on July 28, 1931, in Hollywood, was thrust into the spotlight at an early age. A child actor who appeared in many films, he experienced the highs and lows of growing up in the industry. After his early success, he pursued higher education at Loyola Marymount University, where he discovered a passion for writing and teaching. Hickman's role as a doctor on The Nanny in 1997 reminded audiences of his versatility and lasting talent. Despite a successful career, his personal life was marred by loss. He survived a horrific car accident that left him with permanent injuries, and he dealt with the sudden deaths of both parents within a short span of time, events that left him emotionally shattered. Hickman married twice, fathering 2 children, Dena and Daryl Jr. Though his second marriage ended in divorce, he remained close to his children. Hickman's later years were dedicated to teaching acting, and he found solace in mentoring the next generation of actors. He passed away on May 22, 2024, at the age of 92, from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of resilience, survival, and quiet strength. And Morgan Gilbert, born on October 16, 1928, was a spirited child with a deep love for performance. Growing up in Minneapolis, her early years were filled with dreams of the stage, which later led her to study drama at Stanford University. Her career began with appearances in small theater productions, but she truly rose to fame with her role as Millie Helper on The Dick Van Dyke Show. In 1993, she brought her quirky charm to The Nanny as Yetta Rosenberg, the senile yet hilarious grandmother, a role that endeared her to a new generation of fans. Despite her successful career, Anne's life was marked by sorrow. She endured the death of her first husband, George Eckstein, who was a major support in her early career, a loss that left her devastated. She later remarried, but the scars of her first loss never truly healed. Gilbert's final years were spent battling cancer, a struggle that sapped her strength but never her spirit. She passed away on June 14, 2016, at the age of 87, leaving behind 2 daughters and a legacy of joy and laughter. Spalding Gray, born on June 5, 1941, had a childhood steeped in books and imagination. Growing up in Barrington, Rhode Island, he found solace in storytelling, which later became the bedrock of his unique monologue performances. After studying at Emerson College, Gray entered the world of avant-garde theater, crafting a career based on raw, autobiographical works. His portrayal of Dr. Jack Miller in The Nanny in 1997 was a brief departure from his more experimental style, but he added his own cerebral flair to the role. Spalding's life, however, was riddled with tragedy. A devastating car accident in Ireland in 2001 left him with chronic pain, triggering his long-standing struggles with depression. These dark emotions culminated in his disappearance in 2004, leading to his presumed suicide when his body was found months later in New York's East River. He passed away on January 10, 2004, at the age of 62, leaving his 3 sons and wife, Kathy Russo, heartbroken. His legacy remains a testament to the fragility of the human mind and spirit. Mort Drescher, born on October 29, 1929, in New York City, lived a life of highs and lows. His early years were marked by ambition and perseverance, traits that would shape his later career. After graduating from the City College of New York, he pursued various ventures before finally entering the entertainment world, largely inspired by his daughter Fran Drescher's success. In 1993, he appeared as Uncle Stanley on The Nanny, offering a familial charm and humor that mirrored his real-life role as Fran's father. Mort's personal life was both joyful and tragic. He was married to Sylvia Drescher, with whom he had 2 daughters, Nadine and Fran. However, the death of his wife in 1999 devastated him, leading to a period of deep sorrow. Mort himself was diagnosed with cancer not long after and fought a tough battle against the disease. He passed away on March 20, 2024, at the age of 94, leaving behind a family that cherished him but forever changed by the void his loss created. Allan Rich, born on February 8, 1926, in New York, had an early fascination with theater. Raised in a working-class family, he fought his way into the world of acting, eventually studying at the renowned Actors Studio. His career took a hit during the Red Scare when he was blacklisted from Hollywood for alleged communist sympathies, a tragedy that cost him years of work and plunged him into poverty. However, Rich's career rebounded, and he gained respect for his performances in films like Serpico and later for his role as Paulie the pawnbroker on The Nanny in 1993. His personal life had its share of sorrow. He and his wife lost one of their 2 children, David, to a sudden illness in his teenage years, a loss that haunted Rich for the rest of his life. Allan married his wife Elaine in the 1950s, and their marriage was tested but ultimately survived the many difficulties they faced together. Sadly, in his later years, Rich developed Alzheimer's disease, which slowly took away the sharp wit and intelligence that defined him. He passed away on August 22, 2020, at the age of 94 from complications related to dementia, leaving behind a bittersweet legacy of artistic dedication and personal resilience. Zack Norman, born on May 27, 1940, thrived on the excitement of performance from an early age. Growing up in a supportive family in New York City, he quickly became captivated by acting, which led him to study at the City College of New York. In 1993, he joined the cast of The Nanny as Uncle Jack, where his vibrant energy and charm contributed significantly to the show's comedic flair. One of his career highlights was his role in the adventure film Romancing the Stone, where he showcased his knack for both drama and humor. Despite his success, Zack faced personal challenges, including a serious injury that sidelined his career temporarily and the emotional toll of losing a close friend, which deeply affected him. He was married and had a daughter named Jennifer, whom he adored. Sadly, Zack Norman passed away on April 28, 2024, at the age of 83, from heart failure, leaving behind a rich legacy of memorable performances and a dedicated fan base. Steve Lawrence, born on July 8, 1935, grew up in Brooklyn, New York, with an innate talent for music that would later define his career. His education at the High School of Music and Art allowed him to refine his vocal skills, propelling him into the limelight. In 1995, he joined The Nanny as Morty Fine, Fran's endearing father, and quickly became a beloved figure on the show, known for his impeccable comedic timing and charm. Lawrence enjoyed a successful career as a singer, achieving numerous hits, including Go Away Little Girl, which earned him critical acclaim. His marriage to Adie Gorm was one of the most celebrated partnerships in show business, and they had 2 sons, David and Michael. However, Steve faced profound loss when Adie passed away in 2020, a tragedy that weighed heavily on him, along with his own health struggles. Steve Lawrence passed away on January 7, 2024, at the age of 88, from natural causes, leaving behind a lasting legacy as a versatile entertainer whose contributions to music and television continue to resonate. Joseph Bologna, born on December 30, 1934, in the Bronx, New York, developed a passion for storytelling and performance during his formative years. He pursued his love for acting and writing at Brown University, where he honed his craft and formed lasting connections. In 1994, he made his mark on the Nanny as Alan Beck, a role that showcased his ability to blend humor and charisma seamlessly. One of the highlights of Joseph's career was co-writing and starring in the acclaimed film Lovers and Other Strangers, which earned him recognition for his talent in both writing and acting. Joseph married fellow actress Renee Taylor, and together they had a son named Gabriel. Their marriage was a source of strength for both, though they faced hardships, including the tragic death of Joseph's brother. In his later years, Joseph battled pancreatic cancer, a struggle that was both physically and emotionally taxing. He passed away on August 13, 2017, at the age of 82, leaving behind a legacy of humor, creativity, and an unwavering dedication to his craft that will be fondly remembered by fans and colleagues alike. Robert Vaughn, born on November 22, 1932, in New York City, was a child prodigy who developed a deep love for history and storytelling early on. His academic journey took him to the University of Minnesota, where he earned a degree in drama, setting the stage for a prolific acting career. Vaughn is best remembered for his role as Napoleon Solo in the iconic series The Man from UNCLE, which catapulted him to fame. In 1996, he brought a touch of sophistication to his role as James Sheffield on The Nanny, showcasing his versatility as an actor. Despite his public success, Vaughn faced personal tragedies. He experienced the devastating loss of his son and battled acute leukemia himself. Married twice, he had two daughters, Cassidy and Caitlin, who were sources of joy amid his struggles. Vaughn passed away on November 11, 2016, at the age of 83, from complications related to leukemia, leaving behind a legacy as an iconic figure in both television and film, celebrated for his charm and intelligence. Joyce Brothers, born on October 20, 1927, in New York City, was a gifted child with an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Her academic pursuits took her to Columbia University, where she earned a doctorate in psychology, ultimately becoming a pioneering media psychologist. In 1996, she made a memorable appearance as herself on The Nanny, where she shared her insights and wisdom, reflecting her role as a trusted figure in American psychology. Joyce's career was marked by groundbreaking work that paved the way for future media psychologists, making her a household name. She married and had one daughter, Lisa, but faced significant sorrow with the loss of her husband, which deeply affected her later life. Joyce also dealt with various health challenges but remained active in her field until her final years. She passed away on May 13, 2013, at the age of 85, from respiratory failure, leaving behind a legacy as a trailblazer who transformed the landscape of psychology and media, inspiring countless individuals with her compassionate approach. Coolio, born artist Leon Ivy Jr. on August 1, 1963, in Monessen, Pennsylvania, had a tumultuous upbringing marked by the struggles of his environment. His passion for music flourished during his time at Compton Community College, where he began to hone his rap skills. Coolio's career skyrocketed with the release of his hit song Gangsta's Paradise, a defining anthem of the 1990s. He made a guest appearance as himself on The Nanny in 1998, bringing his unique charisma to the show. Despite his success, Coolio faced significant challenges in his personal life, including the tragic loss of friends to violence and a long battle with addiction. He was a devoted father to 6 children, Artis, Brandy, Jackie, Artisha, Darius, and Zania, who brought him joy and purpose. Sadly, Coolio passed away on September 28, 2022, at the age of 59, from a suspected heart attack, leaving a lasting impact as one of hip-hop's most influential voices. Bertha Kit, born on January 17, 1927, experienced a challenging childhood filled with hardship, but her indomitable spirit shone brightly. Raised in a small South Carolina town, she faced adversity early on, which fueled her passion for the arts. Her education at the New York School of Performing Arts paved the way for her vibrant career in entertainment. In 1996, she made a memorable appearance as herself on The Nanny, captivating audiences with her charisma and unique presence. Bertha is perhaps best known for her iconic portrayal of Catwoman on Batman, a role that showcased her sultry voice and commanding stage presence. She had one daughter, Kit, who was a constant source of pride. However, Bertha faced tragic moments in her life, including the heartbreaking loss of her mother and her own battle with colon cancer, which deeply affected her. Kit passed away on December 25, 2008, at the age of 81, from colon cancer, leaving behind a legacy of fierce independence, extraordinary talent, and an unforgettable impact on music and film. Carol Channing, born on January 31, 1921, was a vibrant child who discovered her love for performance at a young age. Growing up in San Francisco, she honed her talents and later attended Bennington College, where she developed her craft. In 1993, she graced The Nanny as herself, bringing her unique charm and larger-than-life personality to the screen. One of the highlights of her illustrious career was her Tony Award-winning performance in Hello, Dolly, which solidified her status as a Broadway legend. Throughout her life, Carol married 4 times and had one son, John, who was a source of joy and pride. She faced the heartbreak of her mother's death, a loss that left a significant impact on her. In her later years, she endured a stroke, which affected her health. Channing passed away on January 15, 2019, at the age of 97, from natural causes, leaving a dazzling legacy of Broadway performances that will be cherished by fans for generations to come. Cloris Leachman, born on April 30, 1926, was a spirited child with a deep passion for acting. Growing up in Des Moines, Iowa, she nurtured her talent through local theater before attending Northwestern University, where she honed her craft. In 1994, she played Clara Mueller on The Nanny, adding both depth and humor to the role of Fran's quirky grandmother. Cloris achieved tremendous acclaim, highlighted by her Academy Award-winning performance in The Last Picture Show, which showcased her ability to embody complex characters. Throughout her life, Cloris married and had 5 children: Brian, Morgan, Dinah, George, and Adam, who were central to her life and happiness. However, she faced profound tragedies, including the loss of her son Brian, which weighed heavily on her heart. Cloris also struggled with various health issues in her later years. She passed away on January 27, 2021, at the age of 94, from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of versatile and powerful performances that continue to inspire actors and audiences alike. Emmit Zimbalist Jr., born on November 30, 1918, in New York City, was a child who thrived on adventure and intellectual pursuits. Growing up in a family that encouraged creativity, he displayed an early love for the arts. His studies at Yale University were pivotal, as he honed his acting skills while immersing himself in drama and literature. Zimbalist achieved significant fame when he starred as Theodore Timmons on The Nanny in 1994, where his refined charm and sophisticated demeanor resonated with audiences. Prior to this, he became widely recognized for his iconic role in the long-running series The FBI, which aired from 1965 to 1974, showcasing his talent for portraying complex characters. Zimbalist married twice. He had 3 children: Stephanie, Nancy, and Evram III. His personal life was not without challenges, as he faced the tragic loss of his first wife, which profoundly affected him. In later years, he suffered a stroke that impacted his health and mobility, yet he remained active in the industry for as long as he could. Emmit Zimbalist Jr. passed away on May 2, 2014, at the age of 95, from natural causes. Louis Guss, born on January 1, 1918, in New York City, was a passionate child who grew up surrounded by the vibrant arts scene. He attended the neighborhood playhouse in New York, where he honed his craft and developed his distinctive style. Guss gained popularity for his role as Irving Koenig on The Nanny in 1994, where he infused warmth and humor into his character, delighting audiences with his comedic timing. A standout moment in his career came with his role in Moonstruck, where he showcased his ability to balance humor and emotional depth. Lewis married and had one daughter, Pamela, who became a significant part of his life, inspiring him through both joys and challenges. Tragically, he endured the loss of his wife, which left an emotional void in his life. In his later years, Gus battled cancer, yet he remained dedicated to acting, continuing to perform and share his craft. He passed away on September 29, 2008, at the age of 90, from natural causes. Milton Burley, born on July 12, 1908, in New York City, was a lively and charismatic child who always sought the spotlight. His career in entertainment began at an early age, where he learned the ins and outs of show business through sheer experience, performing in vaudeville and on radio shows long before television became mainstream. In 1995, he brought his legendary comedic touch to the Nanny as Uncle Manny, adding a delightful energy to the series with his signature humor. A notable highlight of his career was his tenure as the host of Texaco Star Theater, a groundbreaking television program that earned him the title Mr. Television and helped establish the format for modern variety shows. Burley was married 3 times and had 3 children, Victoria, William, and Sandra, who remained significant figures in his life. His personal life included tragic moments, such as the heartbreaking loss of his son, which left a deep impact on him. He also battled colon cancer, a struggle that overshadowed his later years but never fully extinguished his vibrant spirit. Milton Burley passed away on March 27, 2002, at the age of 93, from colon cancer, leaving behind a legacy that shaped American television comedy and influenced countless entertainers. George Murdoch, born on June 25, 1930, possessed a passion for performance that became evident early in his life. Raised in a supportive family, he nurtured his talent and ultimately honed his craft at the prestigious American Academy of Dramatic Arts. In 1995, he joined the cast of The Nanny as Dakota Williams, where his compelling portrayal added depth and complexity to the character. A career highlight was his role in Star Trek V: The Final Frontier, which showcased his versatility as an actor. George married and had 2 children, Kevin and Lisa, who were central to his life. However, he faced significant challenges, including the heartbreaking loss of his wife and a personal battle with cancer. Murdoch passed away on March 30, 2012, at the age of 81, from cancer, leaving behind a legacy of powerful performances that spanned both television and film, remembered for his strong presence and dedication to his craft. Sheri Lewis, born on January 17, 1934, was a creative child with a love for puppetry and storytelling that blossomed in her early years. Growing up in a family that encouraged artistic expression, she pursued her passion by studying at Barnard College, where she developed her unique talents. In 1995, she delighted audiences with her appearance as herself on The Nanny, bringing warmth and charm to the show. A career highlight was her creation of the beloved puppet Lamb Chop, which became a staple of children's entertainment and showcased her talent for connecting with young audiences. Sheri married and had 1 daughter, Mallory, who followed in her mother's creative footsteps. Tragically, she faced the loss of her father, a heartbreak that lingered throughout her life, and later battled uterine cancer. Sheri Lewis passed away on August 2, 1998, at the age of 64, from pneumonia, a complication of her illness, leaving a legacy of joy and creativity through her puppetry that continues to inspire generations. Florence Griffith Joyner, born on December 21, 1959, was an energetic and ambitious child with dreams of athletic greatness. Growing up in a challenging environment, she channeled her energy into track and field, eventually attending California State University, Northridge, and UCLA, where she excelled. In 1995, she made a memorable appearance as herself on The Nanny, charming audiences with her vibrant personality. A career highlight was her remarkable performance at the 1988 Seoul Olympics, where she won 3 gold medals and set world records in the 100m and 200m that still stand today. Florence married fellow athlete Al Joyner and had 1 daughter, Mary, who was a source of pride for her. Unfortunately, she faced the tragic loss of a close friend and fellow athlete, as well as her own battle with epilepsy, which added to the struggles of her later years. Florence Griffith Joyner passed away on September 21, 1998, at a very young age of 38, from an epileptic seizure, leaving a profound legacy as one of the greatest sprinters of all time and an enduring inspiration to athletes everywhere. Fritzy Burr, born on April 31, 1924, was a spirited child who found joy in the performing arts from an early age. Growing up in New York City, she honed her craft at the neighborhood playhouse, where she learned from some of the best in the industry. In 1993, Fritzy made a memorable appearance on The Nanny as the woman at the movie, where her comedic timing and charm brought a delightful humor to the show. Throughout her career, she accumulated an impressive body of work in film and television, appearing in notable productions like The Twilight Zone and The Fugitive. Fritzy married and had one son, Peter, who became a key part of her life. Tragically, she faced the heartbreaking loss of her husband and later battled lung cancer, which marked the later years of her life with struggle. Fritzy Burr passed away on January 17, 2003, at the age of 78, from a stroke, leaving behind a rich legacy of performances that resonated with audiences. Robert Kulp, born on August 16, 1930, grew up with a fervent passion for acting that flourished during his childhood. After honing his skills at the University of Washington and the University of Texas, he embarked on a career that would see him become a well-respected figure in Hollywood. In 1994, he graced the set of The Nanny as Stuart Babcock, where his blend of charm and authority added depth to the character. A standout moment in his career was his iconic role in the groundbreaking series I Spy, which not only earned him critical acclaim but also made him a television pioneer alongside co-star Bill Cosby. Over his lifetime, Robert was married 5 times and had 5 children: Joseph, Joshua, Jason, Rachel, and Samantha, who brought both joy and complexity to his life. He experienced profound challenges, including the tragic loss of his son, which weighed heavily on him. Robert Kulp passed away on March 24, 2010, at the age of 79, from a fall, leaving a rich legacy marked by his versatility and contributions to both television and film. Bob Barker, born on December 12, 1923, was a charismatic individual whose childhood was filled with a love for entertainment, animals, and the outdoors. He pursued higher education at Drury University, which led him into a successful broadcasting career. In 1994, Bob made a special appearance on The Nanny, captivating audiences with his signature charm. His career reached its pinnacle as the beloved host of The Price is Right, where he entertained audiences for decades and became an iconic figure in game show history. Although Bob married, he had no children, but he was deeply committed to animal rights, becoming a vocal advocate for animal welfare throughout his life. He endured the heartbreak of losing his beloved wife and faced his own health struggles in his later years. Bob Barker passed away on August 26, 2023, at the age of 99, from natural causes, leaving behind a lasting impact as a beloved game show host and animal rights activist. Dena Merill, born on December 29, 1923, was raised in a world of privilege, where her love for the arts flourished early on. Educated at George Washington University and the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, she was well prepared for a successful career in acting. In 1995, she made an elegant appearance as Elizabeth Sheffield on The Nanny, captivating viewers with her poise and charm. Throughout her extensive career, she showcased her talent in films such as Operation Petticoat and The Courtship of Eddie's Father, earning respect for her versatility. Dena was married 3 times and had 4 children: Nadinia, David, Stanley, and Heather, who filled her life with joy. However, she faced unimaginable tragedy with the loss of 2 sons, a heart-wrenching experience that affected her deeply. Later in life, she battled dementia, which impacted her final years. Dena Merill passed away on May 22, 2017, at the age of 93, from dementia-related causes, remembered for her grace, philanthropic endeavors, and contributions to the arts. What do you think about the deaths of the actors in The Nanny, and who do you miss the most among them? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to see the latest videos.